Hello, welcome to the next video on my MSI 2022 preview. In this video, I'm going to go over my mid lane rankings. If you haven't been watching my videos and going when I go over each team, I did EG today, G2 yesterday. I have had my rankings in each video, and people have asked why are players where they are, and I've said, that when it comes to smaller regions, which is 5 through 11, it's all based on stats and stats alone. I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch a single game of a minor region play this past split. I watched almost every game except for a week and a half span of the four major regions play. So I have a good grasp, I feel like, on the four major regions, and then the other regions are all stat based. And people have their arguments. And like I said, when I made those videos before, I said, if you're a big fan and you actually watch content, comment down below with the scouting report and give me a vibe on what this team's about, because the stats show one story, but maybe because you watched them or the way they play might tell a different story. So I think that's kind of a thing that is missed throughout this whole process. So someone had suggested like a week ago, hey, can you do videos about the most played champions by each player? It'd be interesting to see. So this is what I've got here. The three most picked champions. I did jungle yesterday and top lane the day before. The three most played champions by each player. We're going to go over it a little bit. And it's going to give you a vibe about that player and maybe things that we'll see at MSI. So, Faker played a lot of Ahri, a ton of Ahri. LeBlanc and Ryze. You're going to find that Ahri, LeBlanc, and Ryze are on a lot of people's lists. Those three champions were high prio. Ahri versus LeBlanc. Ahri becoming a bigger pick in the mid to latter parts of the spring split. And Ryze being a pick throughout. Tank Ryze. Allowing, Ryze obviously gives you an opportunity in mid to affect other lanes, obviously, with the Realm Warp. And then also a lot of utility with the tank build. So Ryze was really common. Caps played a lot of Ahri, but then afterwards there were 6 champions tied with 3. So his champion pool is actually pretty wide. He didn't rely on anything outside of the Ahri. Afterwards it was just, whatever fit, which is good. You can't get a good grasp on what Caps is going to play against you when there's so many options for him. That's a good thing for G2. Xiaohu, Corki, Vex, LeBlanc. Corki is not listed a lot on here. Corki was a big pick in the LPL early on, and even throughout the end, we saw Xiaohu picking Corki. A carry champion. If Bin is not on, you can expect Xiaohu to play a champion that allows him to carry. Vex, utility, and LeBlanc. So, Vex was a high pick in some minor regions from what I understand, and people are telling me. I may be doing a video in relation to champions that may be, picked highly in other regions and not like the major regions. So this is more of a minor region video. Also picks champions that may be banned more often against certain teams than others. Some players may have, one tricks that they don't really get. Maybe that affects drafts. It depends how long it's going to take to do that, given that we're getting down to the nitty gritty here, the last few days before MSI begins. I think we have like a week before day one. So if I think I can get through all 11 teams and doing it the right way, in my opinion, I will have a video about that. So, Xiaohu, Corki, Vex, LeBlanc, Jojo, Ryze, Victor, TF. Ryze and TF allows Jojo to go around the rift. That's a big deal. He likes to get involved in the side lanes. Even though his CS is really high, his kill participation does not, fall off that much, even with high farm, which is a big deal. To be able to do both is a big deal. Victor Corki, common matchup we saw, all split long. One of the most common matchups of the in the mid lane for spring split overall. So he preferred the Victor over the Corki. Saren was the top ranked mid laner in the smaller regions. Like I said, this is stat based, and his stats looked pretty damn good. Kill participation was high, which led to high kill share, high gold share. CS was solid. He was good all around. He played a lot of Ahri, TF, and Victor. He played all three different kinds of champions. You got Ahri, which is, solid. and an interesting pick that people were making in the mid to latter stages of the split. Like I said, TF goes all around the rift, and Victor is a late game scaler. Kissy is where things get interesting. So the last few days, I've went over these players and their I've went over the players in their given roles, and there's always a player that's interesting that you look at and say, "Wow, that champion pool is not like anyone else's." It was like Broken Blade with top lane, Steel yesterday, and it's Kissy in this one. Vex, everyone's playing Vex. But then there's a Silas and an Akali. So Akali and Ari were the same, 4 each. But Silas is on there. Silas is not on anyone else's board. Everybody can play Silas. We're not saying, this does not indicate that, only he can play Silas or only he can play Akali. But he's the one that relies on those champions, which can give us a little pizzazz with picks. And maybe that allows Order an opportunity to sneak a win over G2 or EG because they're able to do a weird draft that the opposition's not prepared for. That's the interesting player on this board. 7th, Yahorong, Detonation Focus Me. I'm actually perplexed. This player really is confusing me with Rise, TF, and Ari because his kill participation is absolutely awful. So, CS numbers are high, really good farmer, and then people are like, well, he plays into the mid to late game, and that's when he gets involved. And it's like, mid game, you better be getting involved because you have Rise and TF as your most played champions. Why is your kill participation so low? That's not going to work. And if this team wants to play slow and steady wins the race, that may work in your region, but that ain't going to work against the major regions. They have to figure out how to get him on board with making things happen in the early game. That is a surprise to me. Even just looking at the champions, his champions today, I was like, wow, what is going on with him? Aloned. So someone told me it's Aloned, not Alone. So Aloned for Team Ace. Ari, Rise, LeBlanc, pretty standard. Bay for PSG. Rise, Ari, LeBlanc, Ori. So there's an Ori on there tied with LeBlanc. So Ori is his preference over Victor when it comes to control mages in mid. I had somebody that was kind of upset with Yuhan being 11th yesterday. And like I said, they're last because they really haven't played much. And their stats indicate that they aren't, they're more low resource. They're not really doing much on the Rift. And honestly, this isn't the PSG that there used to be. PCS is still, in my opinion, the 5th best region in the world. The top of the smaller regions, top minor region. But this is not the same team. This is not. And these guys may show up and they may surprise me. And honestly, I'll be the first to say, wow, I was surprised. I didn't expect that. I had a wrong read based on their stats. But that's the thing, a lot of players have really good stats. Steel yesterday has great stats. That's the thing. Stats can only tell you so much. So, and I acknowledge that. Grevthar, 10th place. From what I understand, he really struggles, and that is a problem because his champion pool does not match the scouting report. The scouting report is that he goes around the Rift, makes things happen, loses lane. If Victor is your most played champion, and it's by a lot, I think he played it 12 times, and the next highest was 6 with Vex. That's not good. Victor's not supposed to roam. Victor can roam, but he's not supposed to roam. Rise, TF, and Galio are supposed to roam. So, and that's the thing, if he is that type of player, then he should be playing those champions more. He has Rise listed here, but it's his 3rd most played champion tied with Ari. So he should be playing Rise more. And if he's getting outpicked, people are picking Rise against him, then he shouldn't be picking Victor. He should have been picking something else. I don't know. I don't know. He won his region, and I know I have a lot of CBLOL fans, so I'm going to hear something in the comments about this, and it doesn't match. It doesn't make sense. Why are you picking Victor if you're going to roam? You should be picking things that can move around the rift easily. 11th place, Froggy. I got some Vietnamese folks unhappy with me right now because I had Bean J so low yesterday. Stats, like I said about the PCS, stats are what they are. I didn't watch a single game of BCS, so all I know is, one, this is not your best team, and two, the stats say that you're 11th. So that kind of is what it is. Froggy, Vex, Galio, Vigar. I will say this is interesting, similar to Kissy. Froggy has an opportunity to make a difference. He can rely on Galio, and he can rely on Vigar in matchups where these guys tend to not want to go in that direction. That's something different. Now I will say Xiaohu and Knight, Rise and Galio was a big matchup in the LPL finals. It was on patch 12.5. And Rise has been affected since then, I'm pretty sure. Has been nerfed. But if Rise is still a big meta pick, he's going Galio, and that might be a good thing for the Vietnamese squad. If they can rely on something different that everyone else is not doing, maybe that earns them a ban. The Vigar against the Ahri, interesting pick. I mean, those things can be advantages. But, it is what it is. Comment down below if you have any opinions on this. Do you think that, do you, so this is the thing, like, do you have what's the case for, I don't even want to, you don't have to defend yourself, but to say, this is my opinion, so whatever your opinion is fine. Comment down below what your opinion is on how these rankings should look. But also, if it's a smaller region player, I would really like a little bit of a vibe on why this player is better than where they are, because their stats say what stats say. So I don't know how they actually played when it came to, not stat related, crap. So, thank you for watching this video. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. I do daily content. Earlier today I did EG. Tomorrow I intend on doing either T1 or RNG. I'm leaning towards RNG. And then I'm going to do the 80 carries. I may do that video, though, where I'm going over the players that were, target banned. Not target banned, but had champions target banned against them. I might want to do that video this weekend. Maybe if I can get it done by Friday, I will have it Friday, so I have a second video Friday. But as of right now, that's an intention. I think I want to do that. I'm fine with suggestions on videos. I like doing videos. I like doing League of Legends content. Like yesterday, I had Impact versus Broken Blade. I broke that matchup down because people, had a take, and that's fine. You can have a take. That's completely okay with me. We all have our takes. We all have our opinions. And it's interesting to even look when you have an opportunity to look at how players match up, how they have in the past. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you stay tuned for more content.